That's my way of trying to put an exclamation point on the story while the three of you look at me blindly and say, I'm not going to talk about this, so I have to say something before I move forward.
Those things are just dumb.
Too late. Story's over now.
Damn.
She was so excited about the towel, she accidentally ate that grilled cheese sandwich. Now she's going to hell.
Like Jesus.
Wait, there was someone that had a grilled
it was
cheese
a Virgin
with Mary,
Mary
right?
grilled cheese
And it went on
sandwich.
eBay for like $10,000. They didn't go like for... Weren't they
It was
auctioning
on
it
it,
off? I should have gotten that.
Sacrilegious.
Nice.
Is that when the pancake's coming off the...
Oh, terrific. What else do I got? What other stories do I got to talk about today? A woman in Brooklyn, Brian's hometown, went to the toilet this week to wash her hands.
I heard about this.
When she looked at a toilet, a 7-foot python was coming out of the
Wait a
the
minute.
hole.
Wow.
She was washing her hands in the toilet?
Yeah, that's right.
No, the toilet, I'm referring to the room where the toilet is.
I actually thought
okay.
that's what you meant.
She was in the loo, and she was looking at her toilet.
It's too bad she wasn't going for another reason, because she might have missed a great experience.
You ever have 7 feet in you? Oh.
Yeah, it brings new meaning to the term snake the drain.
Jeter's gotta have 7 feet.
Why wouldn't he?
Laying pipe.
But, yeah, so what do you do when a 7-foot snake comes out of your toilet? What's the difference?
You never have to flush again.
Yeah, you flush first. I think is the knee-jerk reaction is what you do.
What she did was she slammed the seat down and put a heavy box on top of it and then called her super.
Yeah.
And the super took the snake out and everything's terrific.
The super took it out? That's not his job. You should have called
How's that not his job?
ASPCA. You got to call animal control.
I'm pretty sure handling man
If you were a
snakes
super
is
and they said they have an alligator up there, can you remove it? Would you go remove the alligator? No, you would get the ASPCA or some crazy animal.
Well, it depends. What are my hours as a super?
10 to 10.
What time did it happen?
9:50 at night.
Yeah, I'm on the clock. I got to take care of it. But I mean, okay, so it's her. I mean, she calls him, and then it's his responsibility to call animal control.
Yes.
I think it's wasn't there like a movie in the '70s about alligators living in the sewers and coming up and biting
starring
people?
Roy Scheider, alligator.
And wasn't there a movie called The Ghoulies, like a horror movie about little creatures that come up and they'd get... If I
You know
remember.
what's funny? You just said that. I was going through my DVDs and I found a sealed Ghoulies 1, Ghoulies 2 Criterion DVD. I haven't watched it yet because I've never seen those movies.
Ghoulies 1, my favorite thing about it is at my old video store...
Oh, no, come on, don't ruin it. I haven't seen
At my old video store, I never saw it either. The box that I would go buy all the time, because I used to like horror movies when I was a child, like Keith, but then I grew up and I stopped watching that sort of stuff. The Ghoulies video actually had a box on the
Chris
wall.
was kind of mean to me just now. I just want you guys to notice.
The Ghoulies box shows a guy with his little whatever ghoulie monster popping his head out from the seat, saying, "Ghoulies, they'll get you in the end." And that was the big motto of the movie.
It was coming out of the toilet.
Yes.
You know, when I moved to Staten Island
Toilet seat.
in May of 1990, right up here on there was a video store over on Richmond Road, and it was closed already. And in the window, there was two movie posters: David Bowie's Serious Moonlight, which I wanted, and Beverly Hills Cop. Do you know that they were there until maybe 3 years ago, and I never grabbed it? And the window was even broken at one point, and I just never went to grab that poster out of there. Now it turned into like, it's gone. They tore it down and built something else over there. I'm a little upset.
You can go to like
I had
movie
13 years.
You can go to like movieposters.com and probably get those for like, I don't know.
But it was there.
Pennies
I know,
on the
I
dollar.
I should have grabbed it the first day.
Whenever I think about Beverly Hills Cop, the Neutron Dance song automatically comes in my head. Isn't that what's playing in like one of the strip bars, or is that just like when they're hanging out?
No. That's when he's like running around and in action.
When Eddie Murphy was funny. Oh.
That's the tail end of it. That's the tail end of
The
him
first
being
one was
funny.
great.
Great. But that's the tail end.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
that's about the end of it.
Well, no, didn't he do something else after Boomerang?
That's funny you
No,
said that
it's still there, Chief.
'cause that movie-
He didn't chew all of it out.
that movie he did Norbit a couple of years ago. I didn't see it, but it
Yeah.
actually looked like it could have been not nearly
really?
as funny as his original.
Is it the
stuff.
fat suit one?
No,
Yeah,
that's the
when
Nutty
he put-
Professor.
Yeah, that's not perfect. But he wasn't a fat suit. He did play a girl in Norbit.
He plays
Yeah.
his girlfriend. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
That's the thing.
Yeah, why does he keep relying on like playing different characters?
Nobody is funny. in a
Bowfinger was
fat
pretty
suit.
good. The Steve Martin film, Bowfinger, where he played
never
his
saw
twin. He played his Eddie Murphy, the thin. Well, I don't know. It's a pretty good movie. See Bowfinger. It's all right.
I will go on record as saying the last good thing that he did was Beverly Hills Cop 1. I find myself constantly at work when people say bad things, when they're mean to me at work. I always say to them, "Don't F with me, Axel. Not now." All the time quoting that movie. I love that movie.
Who says that? His captain?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Do you know in 2009 they're coming out with a Beverly Hills Cop 4?
What's 3?
They did a 3?
What's 3?
Yeah, they did a 3. They did a 3 in the...
3
maybe
is in,
even the late 90s.
3 is in pre-production right now, and 4 is in post-production.
What does 3 have? Martin Lawrence and Jim Carrey?
No, Arsenio Hall, obviously. Arsenio Hall.
Please let Judge Reinhold have a part. Judge Reinhold and Taggart.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of them.
There's this book out called Andy Roddick Beat Me with a
Oh,
Frying
no,
Pan.
there isn't, bro. I'll knock you out.
Oh, boy.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
There's this book out called Andy Roddick Beat Me with a Frying Pan. And
Yeah, you know what? I heard about this, and this guy does this. Like, he challenges
I heard it on.
stars.
He was on Coast to Coast AM, and he's a semi decent amateur tennis player. And so the thing behind the whole book was, what if I played Andy Roddick, but he played with a frying pan? And obviously from the title, Andy Roddick destroyed him by playing tennis with a frying pan. But then he actually got all these sports things together. Like, he got a major league pitcher to pitch against people that were no more than like maybe 3.5 feet tall. And it was physically impossible for the pitcher to get the ball in the strike zone because the strike zone is the knees to the chest. They actually did that once.
Roger Clemens couldn't strike me out throwing a watermelon. That's what it should have been.
There was a guy named Eddie Goodell. I don't know what team it was. Maybe the Cubs, and they used him. He was a midget or a little person or whatever the correct term is.
Little person, Keith.
And he was like he was under 4 feet tall, and they put him in a game. And they walked him because they couldn't get the ball in the strike zone. And then the commissioner told him, you can't use this guy.
That was in like the 20s, right? Or 30s?
I think it was the 30s.
Yeah.
Maybe the 40s at the latest, but I don't even think... It was during... Yeah, you know what? It was during World War II when there was... That's when Pete Gray, the one-armed guy, played because they had nobody
They had
else.
extra roster spots to fill. Yeah. Yeah, I remember hearing about that guy. I was only 19 at the time. It was a great time.
In World War II.
What are the
Yeah,
challenges
Chris
did they do? Did they do any football challenge? That sounds like a cool little thing.
It actually seems like a decent book.
I could pass this ball further than Joe Montana. I use a ball. Montana uses an anvil.
And then they wanted to do... The guy from Coast to Coast AM is trying to get this guy to write another book, a non-sports book, though. And the guy said he thought about it, and one of the things he wants to test is movie theories. This is what reminded me of it. Like, he wants to take Trading Places and say if you can really take a homeless guy who's fairly coherent, and clean him up and give him like a month of training, can you pass him off, in a meeting with a bunch of CEOs as a real executive? Would it actually work?
If we put this guy in a DeLorean, could he go back into the future to 1967 with a vest on?
We thought it would be funny if we took this man.
They're going to build a big ship, put everybody on it, have it hit an iceberg, and see if everybody really drowns.
Yeah, I was just going to say, when you brought up the whole testing movie theories thing, I think they do that already. It's called Mythbusters.
But they do the stunts.
Yeah.
They don't do the actual storylines.
But didn't the guy who was the Super Size Me guy who made fun of the special needs kids? Isn't that like wasn't that the gimmick of his show? Like in 30 days he'd become one of these things over and over again.
Well, it was in 30 days. Morgan Spurling.
Spurlack. I thought it was Spurlack.
I think it was in 30 days. Can he
live on minimum wage?
Yeah, live on minimum wage. Can he go to prison? Can he just? I don't think it was really movie theories or like myths he was necessarily testing. I think it was just could he do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say no.
I think one of them was for 30 days. Can he keep a series? And he failed.
Yeah, episode 2 was really good.
Could we give a guy a license to kill, and could he kill?
We murdered this guy's family.
I just wanted always to be. I wanted always to be candid camera. We thought it would be funny if we murdered this man's family, but what he didn't know was when he tried to get dressed that morning, he'd have 2 left shoes.
This guy's preparing to cook dinner. What we didn't tell him is we left the pilot light on for 6 months. Off.
We thought it would be funny to offer